Hey, 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 we are here once more with Death Unto Madness, playing with your favorite Burning Wheel crew, doing a return to the world that I have still never named. I should probably name the world at some point. Yeah, we're back with Sinia, Kyrides, the Greco-Egyptian nonsense that we've been doing here using the Burning Wheel rules. And this is going to be a little bit of a shorter session, but we will do kind of a Season 2 pre-game. So we'll talk about the new season, we'll talk about the characters and the way they have changed over whatever time skip we decide. We'll do a trait vote, we'll do a resource cycle, and I'll ask you guys what you want to do for practice. Get some tests in. And I'll probably have you also, I'll do the math also on the... those 2 or 3 weeks that you had before that we didn't do practice for. I'll give you guys that time to practice as well, just so you're not getting cheated out of some tests that you could garner otherwise. So let's talk about this first. Let's talk about the court. So Sinia has just had a change of ownership. The power in the court has changed. Ophelia, all hail the queen, is now in charge of the city-state of Sinia. Thestios, the previous prophet king, was murdered in his bedroom by a unscrupulous individual known as Titan. Definitely Alpheus' fault that all happened. So, but yeah, Alpheus is doing a pretty good job of covering his butt, though. Who else died? Let's see. The priesthood of the sea god. Whatever his name is. Oh man, I can't remember the name of the sea god. Oh well. It doesn't matter anymore. He's definitely not the patron god of Sinia. All of his priests are dead by Ophelia's hand. By Ophelia's mouth, I guess, because she convinced a bunch of dock workers to murder them. As she took over the city. The priesthood of Aratos, the god of Kyrides that was starting to take over the city's religious politics, they made a big no-no and tried to bring Thestios back to life, and in the process cursed the entire city. All the women are barren now. And all the children under 2 years old died in the night. Sinia is not having a good time right now.
Wasn't
what else?
The other god's name Pyrrhus?
Pyrrhus, yeah, there you go. That's.
I wasn't sure if that was the one you were thinking of,
yeah.
But then you said the other one, so it's like it must be that one.
Pyrrhus and Aratos. Who knows? I mean, it will be up to Ophelia what the religious nature of the court is at this point. I'm trying to think of it. What else? Yeah, Ophelia's in charge. Cyrillus and Ophelia are now married. That's what we know. It's a political marriage. Basically, Ophelia needed to be married to someone to have legitimate political authority. Cyrillus is just kind of the himbo that got suckered into the deal. Oof, that was loud.
I don't know what that was.
Rip headphones users.
Yeah.
Alpheus, at the last moment, just kind of decided to join Ophelia. To get power. He basically had a whole thing where you were on the wall with the priests of Aratos who were trying to... Basically, Alpheus, you went to the priests of Aratos and were like, hey, listen, Ophelia's trying to take over the city. You got to do something about this. The priests of Aratos went to the wall and were going to call down some curse upon her. And then Ophelia convinced the head priest of Aratos to basically join her as her boy toy and help her take over the city.
And then I killed them.
And then Alpheus was like, no, if anyone's going to be Ophelia's boy toy, it's going to be me. And then you shoved him, got the little priest to kill him. Turns out no one's going to be Ophelia's boy toy. Unless Ophelia, if it's up to Ophelia who she's sleeping with at this point. Who knows? Alpheus basically was like, if anyone's going to... If the priests aren't going to do anything and they're going to join Ophelia, I'm going to just kill them and then join Ophelia instead. And so you led Ophelia through the city. And since you were in charge of what's his name? Who's your boyfriend, Avra? Your fiance?
Oh.
What's his name?
Starts with a K.
Oh, I have the character sheets right in front of me. What am I doing?
Oh, I haven't even opened it.
His name is Celadon.
Yeah, Celadon.
Celadon. Because Alpheus was Celadon's campaign manager, Alpheus when he started letting Ophelia in, everyone was like, "Oh, I guess this is okay. I guess Caledon wants this to happen." And so Ophelia was able to just walk right up to the palace. No one attacked her, and luckily there was no like, French Revolution, let's murder all the nobles thing that happened. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on.
But like the nobles were prepping for war, right?
They were getting ready to fight, and then Alpheus was like, "Nah, fam, it's all fine." And everyone was like, "Oh, I guess it's all fine."
I might have been wrong.
And by the time they could have done anything, it was too late. And so Ophelia had a conversation with Caledon and Avra about what her plan is, what she even wants about. She's like, I don't actually really care about the city of Sinia. Like, I don't really want to be the ruler. I have a goal. I have a mission, and it involves death. It involves the dead gods. And what exactly did you tell them? I'm trying to remember what I did. I did just listen to all the episodes. I'm trying to remember what you because I remember your whole plan. I just am trying to remember what you actually revealed to them about your plan.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You can just decide that now, like over the time skip. What have you revealed to them about the plan? You told them something, right? Like you told them, like, I need to figure out this thing, and then Avra said, like, I'll help you if you help me figure out what was going on with my father and why he was going mad. I think that was the exchange that happened there at the end. And so I just don't know how much of her plan Ophelia revealed to them. How much of it do you think you would have?
I don't know, because I feel it. I feel like I was kind of just like, here's everything. I thought that I said everything. I can't remember what I kept saying.
It's totally fine. You can just decide, Maria, right now. Because even if you only said some of it at the last session there, you can just have said the rest of it now, right? Over the time skip.
I think I'd tell them everything, because I remember that at that point I was really trying to like sort of have a relationship with Avra.
Yeah.
Or try to, and I had been being sketchy for so long that I think I was like, hey, let's be friends. Here's my whole deal.
Cool. Well, Ophelia, would you like to reveal that to us, Maria? Would you like to? What is Ophelia's plan? What did she say to Avra and Caledon?
Let's see if I can remember this.
I'll help you fill in the details.
Okay, so I had a son at some point.
Yes.
Like
we have no clue who the father is.
Yeah. And
he
then
had a baby boy.
And he died. Before
he died, he got a demon. He got one of those jinn, and that was what Vernon was, your snake.
Oh, that's Vernon.
Right? Vernon was his. So I think he lived at least long enough to like have enough of a consciousness to like understand that demon stuff. He might have been really little, but he didn't die in infancy or anything.
Right.
He understood demon stuff.
He understood demon stuff, He reached the age of accountability where he could decide between the living gods and the dead gods.
Yeah. And then I had this whole plan where, because there's like that other half of the world that's funky.
Yes.
And
so
I want to get there.
Yeah. I think I know. I probably know more about it than you do at this point because it has been a while. So from my understanding, Ophelia was like serving these dead gods and had this son, loved this son tremendously. The son died. She kept the demon around, obviously, because Vernon was around, but the son died. And then Ophelia's like, well, that sucks. Like, this is the only person I care about in all of the world. Like, I want to die too. And so she got her entire cult to suicide with her, but it didn't work for her. For whatever reason, the dead gods said, no, you will not join us in the void. And Ophelia knows that the dead gods did not die. They simply went to the other side of the planet, the side of the planet that isn't tidally locked to the sun. So remember, this planet is always daylight on one side of the planet and always night on the other side. You guys live in the twilight region, so it's moderately close to where the like dead part of the planet starts to appear. But Ophelia knows the dead gods they reside there, as well as the demons. The demons come from there as well. And so the demons, these jinn, as they're called locally, made a deal with one of the dead gods, Nicaea, the goddess of animals and mischief, to basically take the form of animals so that they can come to this side of the planet. Some magical pact went on there. And so Ophelia was denied entrance into her unholy afterlife. And instead, the dead gods were like, no, we have something for you to do on this planet. And we're not going to tell you what yet, but like you have more to do on this earth to do our bidding before we bring you home. And so Ophelia has been, ever since then, basically, carrying out whatever mysterious and esoteric plans the dead gods want her to accomplish. She doesn't really know what it is yet, but she's being led piece at a time through it. I think, Ophelia, you realize at this point that the fall of Sinia was definitely part of it. Whatever was going on there. So the dead gods definitely wanted that to happen. But again, they are fine eventually, at least to your understanding, with eventually taking you to the dark side of the planet. And so you need to figure out what are the final steps to get there, right? Like, what are the final pieces of the puzzle? What do the dead gods want from you, to come with them? And honestly, I think Ophelia, maybe what we start the second season with for you, is going to be probably like you getting some dream that's revealing you the actual end goal. And I think the end goal is going to be, we'll get like an actual scene of this next time, but I think for everybody's reference, honestly, only Ophelia and whoever she decides to tell this to knows this, but I think as an audience, we get this revealed to us. Ophelia's mission on this earth is to kill all of the rest of the gods, right? Is basically to make it so they all die as well. I don't know if Ophelia knows how the dead ones died in the first place, but she's going to have to figure, they're going to lead her to figure that out. Though you do know, Ophelia, that part of what you were doing here, right, with Pyrrhus and Aratos and the religious politics that were happening in the city, that's definitely a piece of it, right? And maybe you don't understand exactly how that fits together yet, but that's kind of your mission, I think, is to basically make sure the other gods die. So that's what we know in terms of Ophelia's plan. Let's talk about, is there any other piece that you can remember, Ophelia, that I'm missing out?
Not really, no. Nope.
Sounds good. There's more that I know that you don't know, but...
Oh, spicy.
Mm-hmm. So, let's talk about the time skip, right? I guess, how long has it been? Right? This will probably determine a little bit about how much has actually changed. I think it should be moderately large, right? Honestly, I even think like a year wouldn't be too much. Up to you guys though. What kind of time skip are we thinking here? Because I feel like it would be, Ophelia has like more or less stabilized her power base in Sinia by the time we pick up. So however long you think that would have taken.
I was thinking a year, and then you said it, so
yeah, year makes sense to me. Yeah, we know the years on this planet are roughly around 360-ish days, and the only reason that people on this planet know what a year even is or how to track a year is every 360-ish days or whatever amount of day. I think let's say exactly 360. There's some sort of like super volcano in the center of the day side that goes off, and almost every part of the planet feels it. Like, this like... For you guys, it would be a very minor earthquake.
It's like you feel the earth rumble. You're like, Happy New Year.
Exactly. That's literally what it is, right?
It's been a year already?
Exactly, yeah. So, yeah. Year makes sense. So I will, I'll take that into account. A year and make 2 or 3 weeks, I think I'll give you for practice time. So let's talk about the state of the court, shall we? What is it like? Right? Ophelia, I guess let's start with this. Ophelia, what have you changed?
Oh my gosh, you're asking me tough questions, and I don't know.
Obviously, we can fill in details as we go, but like broad strokes.
Well, I think I keep the whole I don't mess with the falconry thing.
Yeah.
But
the noble ladies are still able to keep their birds.
Yeah. Maybe I dissolve the like competition though.
Okay.
No.
Kind of like, oh no, that's your thing.
Yeah, Avra loves that stuff.
Yeah, maybe I don't touch that at all because Avra likes it. I forgot that was your deal. Yeah, I think then I leave that because I don't think I want to mess with anything that Avra like really likes. So I think I keep that then.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that happens there that she doesn't care about. Maybe the whole like blue robe. No, because that messes with you.
Does Ophelia care though about everyone else?
Yeah, the things to consider here.
Avra, don't I?
Yeah, so the things to consider about I think the main things about the court in Sinia, right, is of course the bird competition stuff, right? The noble ladies vie for power that way. One way you could change that without angering Avra though is you could just like pronounce Avra as being in charge of it if you wanted to, right? Like
yeah.
It would make the other noble ladies mad, but you could.
Like the competition doesn't mean that like if you win you get the power. It's like Avra's always in that position, but you might get like a
participation ribbon.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it doesn't mean you're in power. It just means that you're cool.
Sure.
And
yeah.
You get to be in charge of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Just get like gambling winnings or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that seems like something that Ophelia would do, because she likes Avra. Because there was that one prissy noble lady who was like always getting being mean to Avra. She was like the first, and Avra's the second.
Should I like try to kill her?
You could.
You could do that. just get her out of the picture. We don't like her anymore.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. There's a number of ways you could have done that, so that's fine. Myra, the man killer of the court, is off somewhere. You banished her to like an outer estate somewhere. Yeah, and there's the guard, the actual like political stuff, because it was like a representative republic sort of thing, where each town on the outskirts and then each like district / important aspect of Sinia had like a minister of one sort or another. So I don't know if you would want to mess with that system at all.
Yeah, it would be interesting if I made it more tyrannical.
Yeah.
Not because I care about, because I thought about that and I was like, well, I don't even care about this, and I want to like Ophelia wants to be gone anyway, but maybe so that like Avra would probably be my heir because I'm not going to have an heir, so she would just take over. So I'm just like setting the stage for her to come in. That way she can do what she wants. And then maybe instead of having like the lesser guys in control of each county or whatever type of deal, it could be more religious. So we have like priest figures. I don't know if we had that already, but like those are the guys that are more in charge. So the focus is more
Ophelia, you could definitely make this into a weird dead god theocracy.
Yeah, like
or ecclesiocracy, but yeah. Okay, sure. So this is the thing, Ophelia. So the priests of these dead gods are long gone, right?
Yeah.
Is this like you basically calling the weird cult member? Is this you making your cult in charge of the city?
Yes. And then I just had an idea. So I don't know if you have thought about this already, but I'm like gonna do my history paper on like animal sacrifice, and so Ingrid and I were talking about it, yeah, and there's like an element of it where some people believed that like the souls of the animals that they were sacrificing like actually sustained and fed the gods that they were worshiping. So if you have that sort of set up, like if that's a thing, then that could be like the first step to killing the gods that are alive, because now they're not getting
basically starve them.
No, and that was honestly the part of the thing that I was thinking, right? Is the reason why Ophelia's already been doing some of that is because she killed all the people of Pyrrhus. And this is the main city in the world that like worships Pyrrhus, right? So that's like a big deal. So like for sure, I think that makes sense. If Ophelia basically wants to go on a campaign to like stop all sacrifices to the living gods, like
that's such a cool concept too, because that just means that dead gods are just gods that people stopped worshiping.
Yeah.
Which means that since I'm worshiping the dead ones,
exactly.
So does this obviously must have repercussions on like how the citizenry views her?
Oh, certainly. I mean, the thing is,
because like everyone's gonna hate you.
Yeah, Ophelia. The thing is, Ophelia has the power of the people on her side. And she threatened a revolution, right? When she marched up to the gates of the palace with an army of citizens behind her, so that the nobles, if they were having a problem with Ophelia, probably have only now started to work up the guts to do anything about it, because they've been terrified of that promise from Ophelia for like a year now. So Alpheus, I mean, if you wanted to do politicking behind the scene and try to get Ophelia overthrown or whatever, like,
no, I don't even know what I wanted. I have no idea.
I'm just saying, if you did, like, there would be people who would join you in that, right? But I think like for the last year, it's definitely been on the DL. Like, people have been trying to walk eggshells around Ophelia. Just like, yeah.
Just because she's all. Why don't we just make some like super powerful good guy that worships some other god?
That's an idea. It depends on if you actually care about Ophelia being in charge or not, right? Alpheus's whole thing was Carusia, right?
I'm already on my way out, right? So.
Yeah.
Are you dying?
Yeah. I mean, I just don't want to be here, right? I don't care about the city.
Yeah. Ophelia's purpose in life is to die. But yeah, not
she just wants to take us with her.
Well, yes.
Abra. What?
Abra's fine. You can leave.
Alpheus, I mean, your whole thing was like Carusia, right? Was your town being taken care of?
Yeah. How are they doing?
Yeah, let's talk about that, right? So we know that they weren't taken over by barber assassins. Right? We know that the side story thing that we didn't ruin Carusia. Carusia is safe in that sense. Ophelia, what would you do about, like, Alpheus is obviously... Okay, first question would be, Ophelia, do you make Alpheus an important minister in your network? Or does he get demoted because the cult's in charge now?
Did we interact last time?
Alpheus was the one who let you in the palace district.
Okay, and how did he, like, I think mainly Ophelia's motivation would be based on how he treated Abra. I can't remember the plot from last year.
Alpheus was working with Caledon and Avra to get them in charge before.
Then I probably keep him high up. Then I'm like, hey, because like the whole point, like she's trying to set a system up for her. So I could just be like, yes, let's put him in a high position so that Avra has like a trusted advisor or whatever. Yeah,
that makes sense. Alpheus is still in the campaign manager advisor to the future queen sort of role. Or is he your advisor now?
Maybe. Sure.
I feel like that's kind of cool, right? I feel like this second season should be, the characters are now all centered on Ophelia as she starts to devolve into madness, right? Like, I like that idea, right? Because Alpheus is your advisor, Cyrillus is your consort, and Avra is your heir, right? Like, that's a fun kind of dynamic to work with. Mm-hmm. So then, in that case, Alpheus Carusia is as safe as you want it to be, right? Honestly, Alpheus, this all worked out pretty well for you so far. So yeah, I mean, Carusia is safe for now.
Well, I'm just chilling. I'm like, I'm just going with the flow. I'm trying to help.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I'm still trying to help.
Yeah.
I think my main motivation would be to make sure that, like, I think I would be trying to keep the citizens happy,
right?
Even though they're upset or might be upset.
Yeah, you're probably dealing with a lot of disgruntled noble people who are like complaining about Ophelia, and you're probably alternatively like reminding them of Ophelia's power and also placating some of their like demands.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alpheus, have you officially joined the new religion?
Oh, I never had a religion, right?
I mean, you were kind of by default a worshiper of Pyrrhus.
I would just say I'm probably just nominal.
Sure. Yeah, you.
But I think there is something weird about, like, for sure, if I saw it, since I've seen Ophelia's powers, like, I mean, something's crazy is going on.
Certainly.
But
yeah, that could even be belief, right? Like, I want to learn more about what this even is.
Yeah, I think, but I don't know that Alpheus would be super concerned about like going and discovering and
Yeah.
Unless I felt like I needed to or wanted to get my own powers or something.
Yeah.
But no, I would say I'm probably just nominal.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cyrillus, how are you doing, buddy? Is Cyrillus in charge of the military now? What do you think, Ophelia?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We gonna lose.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel this is the thing, right? The second in command of the Royal Guard, the first in command got ripped to shreds by Ophelia's people, of the Royal Guard, and the second in command joined Ophelia, right? So the guard more or less actually is on Ophelia's side, and so I mean, Cyrillus, I feel like besides being like the kind of consort of the new queen, you're probably also like at the very least in charge of her Royal Guard. You don't necessarily like. I'm sure that Sinia has generals that actually would take care of like, actual military stuff, but you're certainly in charge of like the guard. I think that makes sense. But yeah, Cyrillus doesn't actually have like military strategy or tactics or anything like that, so he's probably not in charge of that stuff. But on a more practical, like day-to-day basis, you're in charge of the stabby.
I love how Ophelia just took a bunch of randos and put them in charge of everything just because Avra knows them, basically.
Yeah.
I'm just like, my sister, you're in charge of everything.
Exactly. So then the question is, where actually are Avra and Caledon in your new system? Like, obviously, Avra's your heir, but do either of them have any power? Like, Avra's, I guess, in charge of the noble ladies' bird club, but
yeah, I feel like
the Falcon Country Club.
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, maybe like I have it. So like I make executive decisions, like whatever I want goes, but like maybe most of the time I'm like, hey, Avra and Caledon, like I'm probably really transparent about the whole situation where I'm like, yeah, Cyrillus and I are like king and queen right now, but that's not gonna last. Like, so like, what are things that you want set up? Because I kind of have like, I don't have to jump through hoops to make stuff happen because I don't care about morals. So if you want like stuff certain ways, then we can do that. Like, I think it's sort of like a little tiny council. So like they're co-leading, but not.
That makes sense.
Publicly.
Yeah. So your inner council consists of who? Alpheus, Caledon, Avra, Cyrillus? Question mark? Is he part of your like inner council?
I probably don't listen to him, but he can hang out.
He is there. Yeah. He's at the very least guarding everyone in the room while you have these meetings.
Yeah.
Who else? Is anyone else in your inner council circle thing?
Yeah, that one chick.
Oh, Althea?
Yeah. And then maybe her dude.
Oh, and Perrin. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because they're kind of like the head priests of your new religion, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ophelia, one thing to ask about then, I guess, for their sake, they were really interested in each other romantically. Have you let that become a thing?
Yeah, I think I want it to be a thing.
Sounds good.
I don't know if that's Ophelia or me, though.
So, Althea and Perrin are definitely weird husband-wife priests to this weird new religion. Althea's definitely pregnant.
I was gonna say no, actually.
Oh, so no to what?
To her being able to have children. I was gonna say like, yes, you guys can be together, but you don't understand like the pain of losing them, so you can't.
Or
like, I sat them down and I was probably
Ophelia, maybe your plan is they need to know the pain.
Well, question.
And
is
so
Althea
you'll have this child be born and then murder it.
Is Althea not also barren?
Oh, yeah. That's true. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Except Althea wasn't in Sinia when that curse happened.
Oh, she's the only one that can have a child. That's going to go south real fast.
Honestly, that's the thing. Your cult, Ophelia, are the only fertile people in the city right now.
This is so good.
I think right now it's become a weird sex cult in some ways, at least. Right? Because of that weird dynamic because that's what would happen, right? Is like,
Yeah.
honestly, okay. I mean,
Hey.
Greek temple prostitute priests, like that's a thing. It's probably part of your new religion. If you want children, you have to go to the temple prostitutes, right? It's like this weird, like,
I
wow.
sort of own all the new children.
yes,
Epic.
Ophelia,
Yeah,
yes.
that works. Cool. This is so horrible.
Absolutely. I mean, we knew that from the very beginning. Ophelia was horrible. That's what would happen, though, right? Like, yeah, because, and I'm glad we thought of that, because that gives us a very clear picture of like what a year later that looks like for the people of Sinia. Like, they're dependent. That's why they haven't overthrown you, right?
Wouldn't Avra be like, hey, maybe we could figure something else out, sister?
Because this is the thing. I think that people, like, if they were trying to like import slaves or get people to move here and try to have children that way, I don't think it works. I think for whatever reason, your cult and your cult only can have children in Sinia, and you have basically a monopoly on childbearing in the city. And so people are dependent upon you for the future of this entire city, right?
Yeah, sick. That makes sense.
Honestly, I feel like even someone who joins Ophelia's cult after the fact can become pregnant. I think several women have joined your cult simply because.
But is that because the cult has some way of reversing the curse, or
I don't think we know yet. Right?
Maybe
I think
because I feel like it's weird if the cult can somehow reverse the curse of another god.
Yes. So there's two parts to this, right? Aratos' curse was primarily on the priesthood of Aratos and the city that they claim, and the city of Sinia itself, right? I think Aratos would probably be very happy if the city of Sinia just completely died out. But I think he's also probably okay with the city of Sinia being weirdly dependent on a weird fertility cult of dead gods. I think he's laughing in the heavens right now at the just pure, like, horribleness of all of it, and I think he's okay with it.
But that means that people are worshipping other gods other than him, so how would he be happy about that?
Aratos doesn't care about Sinia. He doesn't want Sinia to worship him.
Okay.
Aratos is the god of Kyrides, and they've always historically hated Sinia. And I think Kyrides is very happy with. He doesn't care for whatever reason.
Okay, but okay, I keep finding contradictions, because wouldn't he want them to just completely die off then, instead of still being able to
maybe
repopulate?
But in that case, I think whatever is happening with Ophelia's dead god cult, that's definitely part of it, right? It's not just Aratos doesn't care, it's that the demons are literally providing a way for fertility to happen again.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, let's take a look at the pantheon real quick. I'm curious. Which gods are dead? I wonder if there's like a dead fertility goddess in here somewhere. Oh, well, Aratos is the god of fertility.
Maybe in a roundabout
but
way he is being
one of the dead gods is probably the goddess of children and hunting.
Mm.
So whatever she is,
that fits really well with Ophelia's cult.
That's the two things.
I'm gonna generate a quick Greek name for this goddess.
Leave soonish.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
But
just trying to find a good name for her. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm trying to find a good name here. It's not working. Man, why can't I find a good one? Here we go. This goddess's name is Califina. Califina, the goddess of children and hunting, is powering this new fertility cult. And that's the thing, right? You worship the dead gods as a pantheon. So that this makes total sense. The one of the gods that you worship is this lady. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good situation to have before us. Let's do this then. Ophelia, what stuff would you be practicing in the meantime here?
Oh, like the traits, you mean?
No. So, there's a thing called practice in the game where you can basically, if there's a time skip, you can have been spending your time practicing a skill or a stat or something. What would you be practicing? What sort of stuff? And I can figure out the actual math on all of it. But
Um,
if you want to just glance at your skills and see,
yeah.
what would you be spending your time doing?
Probably like in the being learned category, I started working on soothing platitudes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the sort of thing you're talking about?
Yeah.
Because that'd be nice to have worked on.
Sure. Yep. Makes sense.
I don't really know what my options are, but maybe like something she's really bad at.
And it could be like a skill you actually have on your sheet, but you're just practicing and making it better too, right?
Yeah, true.
I mean, I feel like maybe at the very least you've done some oratory.
Yeah, and probably heretical doctrine.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, working on your dead god doctrine.
Yeah, and cult doctrine. Like I feel like those.
Cool. Awesome. And then very last thing we'll do with you, Ophelia. Do you want to take a look at your traits real quick? And let's have everybody do that. Take a look at Ophelia's traits. Is there anything on there that we think should be taken off that doesn't make sense for Ophelia?
I feel like she's a lot less cruel now. Like,
is she?
I mean,
she's a lot less cruel. She's not cruel to you.
That's fair.
So what were you saying, Maria?
Well, like I feel like my motivation for things are different because now it's gone to like, which is equally unhealthy, but it's gone to like average my motivation for literally everything. So I still do horrible things, but the motivation is different. So it's not killing people to kill people; it's killing people because I love Abra? ?
Yeah, I feel like that's adding a trait and not taking away one. I think maybe Ophelia should get some sort of like trait like obsessed or something.
Yeah.
Do you have the trait driven? You do not. I feel like maybe driven might be a good trait for you. I mean, I think almost everyone has it right now. But driven is a call-on trait for a particular skill.
I completely forgot she was blind.
Yeah, that happened very recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, the like red eye situation. Right.
Cool. Well, let's we'll talk about that. Let's talk about that at the beginning of next session. And finalize Ophelia's trait changes because I know you gotta head out here. Yeah, other than that, also, I mean, between now and next time we play, everyone should take a look at their beliefs and instincts, and double check to see if there's anything that you think might have changed. That would be a good idea. And then we'll continue on and talk through a couple other things. But Maria, you're good to go. You can head out.
Okay.
Do your
Have
thing.
A time.
Thank you.
If you need me to like make a decision, you can text me.
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll do.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
All right, I gotta make sure the overlays are fixed quick. But yeah, so let's talk about we gotta do traits. Doing the trait vote here. Sorry, I'm just making sure. Go. So let's go to Alpheus, shall we? If everyone wants to take a look at his
Oh yeah, I'm Andrew Garfield.
trait situation. Yes, you are indeed.
I feel like I would be looking all worn down and dying.
Yeah. Oops. That's wrong. Alpheus. Is there anything on that sheet immediately that jumps out to anyone that is just not true about Alpheus anymore?
Yeah, Ophelia became the queen.
That's true. I mean, is there anything? Oh,
Am I looking at the wrong thing?
Is there something on there that I'm not seeing that?
Not beliefs, or anything.
Yeah, I mean,
traits.
beliefs you can change. Yeah, for sure, you should look at your beliefs and instincts and stuff and change those. We don't have to worry about those
traits.
right now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, traits is what we could focus on. Because this has to be done with like the input of the other players, which is why we're doing it all together.
I think they're all pretty the same.
Yeah, no changes there. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Is there anything that we feel needs to be added then? Some part of Cyrillus' or not Cyrillus, Alpheus' personality, that's different now. Like one thing that we could look at is your beliefs and instincts and see has anything there like solidified itself even further to the point where it's now like a permanent part of your personality.
I don't think so, honestly.
Yeah. Honestly, it's fine if you guys don't think that any of your characters have changed significantly enough to even warrant a trait vote at this point. I just figured it might be a time to look at it. It might make sense, honestly, to leave off with it and do it a little bit, a couple sessions down where we've had a little bit of time to feel out the new state of things. That makes sense. Cool. So let's do this then. We don't need to do a trait vote because now that I'm thinking about it, I don't necessarily think any of you have anything that stands out to me that's changed drastically yet. But let's do this. If you guys want to just take a look at your skills, stats, and attributes and all that stuff, and just tell me if there's anything, what would your character be working on during this year, practice-wise? Like, what would you be spending your free time doing?
I think I would be writing a lot of letters to people.
Okay. Yeah. Work on your write skill.
And maybe rule of law.
Yeah, write and rule of law makes sense.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah. You're basically just doing government stuff.
I think I would pretty much be mostly only doing that.
Yeah. Just gonna write all this down. Practice. Ophelia is working on critical doctrine, oratory, and trying to learn soothing platitudes. Alpheus is working on bureaucracy, rule of law, and right. What about you, Cyrillus?
I assume, I know it's kind of weird because the way magic works, would I be working on my drinking or magic skill?
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be drinking, but also, I mean, Cyrillus, the main thing you need to bump up is your enchanting.
Oh,
right,
yeah, that's
drinking is
yeah.
kind of like the conduit for it, but I mean, getting up your enchanting skill would be very helpful.
Do I not have that?
You have a 1 in it, right?
Oh, wait, I'm looking at Alpheus.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh.
That's why.
My drinking is being learned still.
Okay. I knew something was weird, but okay.
Yeah, enchanting and drinking makes sense.
Yes.
If you Cyrillus is just spending a lot of free time just like in the corner by himself doing weird magic rituals. Drinking himself into
I don't
oblivion.
think I'd be working on anything in my being learned.
Yeah.
Maybe doctrine.
That's fair. Yeah. Cyrillus is devoting himself to the the magical cult.
I'm covered in bandages. So.
Yeah. Exactly.
Can't go back now.
Exactly, yeah. Honestly, though, psychologically, that would be one of two responses. Either it's like, I have to immediately repent right now and like get out of this to try to like get remove this, or you just be like, all right, I have accepted it. I'm gonna go full on into this. If I'm gonna get diseased, I might as well get power out of it.
That's where he's at. He's not like, yeah, this is the best choice. It's just like it. Gotta live my life.
Yep. What about you, Avra?
I feel like she'd be working on doctrine and read a lot.
Sure.
Because one of the things that I remember us leaving off on was that basically Avra and Celadon were going to try to figure out why Ophelia can't die and like to try to find a way that she could.
Yeah.
Which I feel like would involve a lot of reading and also a lot of doctrine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then I feel like also persuasion, because if she's been kind of in Ophelia's like inner council circle, really trying to set it up.
I realize that muting me also means muting you, and so nobody can hear you for a second. Go ahead.
Since she's been in Ophelia's like inner council circle, and Ophelia is trying to set it up so that basically what's left over when she's gone is for Avra and Celadon. Avra's probably trying to persuade her quite a lot to do things that are more in her interest and the interest of the city in general, as opposed to things that Ophelia thinks is best for the city. Yeah,
Celadon is going to have... He has not had a very good year because like his worst nightmare in several different capacities is coming true here. So I'll have to figure out what his state is right now. Cool stuff. Yeah. Let's see. What else do we need? The only other thing that I can think of is... that's what we should do. We should look at reputations and affiliations and see if they've changed at all. So Alpheus, I feel like your reputation has probably changed from the bluest robe to be something about being, Ophelia's closest advisor, maybe, is your new reputation.
Yeah. Queen's advisor or something?
Yeah.
Because there are no more blue robes, right?
Exactly, right? The color of your robe does not matter anymore. Cool. Do we think so? Right now, Alpheus has a 1D reputation in that, which means
what is 1D?
1 dice worth is a local or minor reputation. I feel like it probably is bumped up to a 2 dice reputation, right? Because the options it gives you for local or minor is the fastest kid on the street, the drunk, the neighborhood thug, or the knowledgeable guide. Like, you're definitely beyond that level. So yeah, I think you have a 2 dice reputation as the Queen's advisor. And probably you also have a 2 dice affiliation in the Sinian government. You had 1 dice in it before, but I feel like it's definitely gone up. If that makes sense to everybody else.
Yeah.
Cool. Avra, let's take a look at your stuff. Does Avra have a reputation? I don't think she does.
Think so.
Right? Like, Avra is important, but she doesn't talk to a whole lot of people. So like, right?
I just have my bird stuff.
Yeah, she doesn't stand out, really. So I don't think you've gotten a reputation, at least yet. You definitely, I think you should get an extra dice in the Women's Falconry Club because you're kind of in charge right now.
Yeah, buddy.
And probably another dice in nobility, which is what you had before as well. I think it makes sense to bump up everybody's reputations a little bit here. I mean, Ophelia's in charge of the city, so. And then Cyrillus. You probably don't have an infamous traitor to the king reputation anymore.
Yeah, where is my reputation at?
It's in below your attributes.
Ah, there they are. Okay.
Right, I don't think people care about that anymore.
Yeah, no.
So what reputation do you have instead, if you have any? Something about being a weird diseased creep?
I think so, because I don't think I'm like... I mean, I'm not really out in public a lot, probably. So I
But
think
when
the
you are,
that do
people
see
talk
me-
about it, right?
Yeah, yeah. So they don't know what I am, but I freak them out. Something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
creepy-
I think let's have you have a 1 die reputation as the queen's consort. 'Cause
Okay,
that's
that
all
works.
connected with your weirdness too.
That works,
Because
yeah.
like, of course, the Queen Ophelia would have this guy as her consort.
Mhm.
And then I feel like you get another dice in Cult of Dead Gods.
Okay.
Right, that makes sense.
Mhm.
You're moving up in the world. Well, depends on what you mean by up, but I guess.
Sideways.
Yeah, because Cyrillus doesn't talk a whole lot. I don't think he would have a 2 dice reputation in Queen's consort.
No,
Probably
probably not.
People talk about it, but it's not like you're front and center or whatever. So.
I don't do anything.
Exactly. Yeah. Not yet. You will, Cyrillus. You will. And then let's take a look at Ophelia real quick. She's definitely gotten some upgrades. No longer does she have creepy chick in the woods, I don't think, as her reputation. I honestly think it's probably let's see, would it be 3 dice? 3 dice is a national or major reputation. Oh yes, definitely. I mean, the king is listed as the 3 dice. Okay, so she has a 3 dice reputation as the witch queen of Sinia, and probably a 3 dice reputation as in the Cult of Dead Gods. Right, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to give her a 1 dice reputation in the Sinian government, because obviously those are kind of different things, because the Sinian government is like the nobles and the politicians who still are kind of existing, but don't actually have that much power, which is why Alfea still has connections there. But obviously Ophelia is connected to them still, because she's a noble. Actually, it would probably be a 1 die affiliation in nobility, not Sinian government. Cool. I think the only thing we have left is a resource cycle. Though honestly, this should probably be done with Maria, so we'll wait to do this at the beginning of next session. So the resource cycle would be everyone makes a resources test to see how well they've been getting along. But really, I mean, what Maria needs to do is she needs to make a resources test for the kingdom of Sinia, right? The city-state of Sinia. And she could try to get out of it by doing another faith test like she did before, right? And try to like basically just pray to the gods to make like boom the economy or whatever, right? But she's responsible for that now. So that's probably a good place to start next time. Is with that big thing. I don't know if there's anything else exactly. I definitely got a lot of good ideas from our conversation here, so I'm going to make a lot of notes. But yeah, in the meantime, before we do next session, go ahead and look at your beliefs and instincts. Change anything that you think you might be interested in, and feel free to message me if you want to have help figuring out ideas for what might be next. But also don't be afraid to leave a couple of them blank if you don't have a whole lot of ideas, and we can always fill them in as we start getting more prize of the new situation as well. So cool. That was our little pregame session. We'll be back next time with more Death and Madness. I'm very excited to see the more horribleness wrought in this city filled with death and madness. Thanks for playing, guys, and we'll be back next time. Adios.